Well, hey there, welcome to episode 2 of Yes, indeed. Okay, so on today's episode, I'm going to actually have just one main focus, but I'm going to touch on a couple of other things with that one main focus. So therefore, the show isn't going to be 2 for 1, but instead
3 for the price of 1.
Thank you, voiceover that I recorded at some future time after recording this. All right, so that one main focus is actually going to be a radio show called Digging in the Carts, and it airs on Red Bull Music Academy, and it's actually only had one season so far, but it's a very, very well worth listening to. All right, so Digging in the Carts is actually a play on the term digging in the crates, which is a DJ term for DJs that actually use vinyl, and they go into record stores and dig for elusive vinyl that might be like super rare, hard to find, like perfect for sampling or for their set or whatnot. So I'm just gonna go on a side note and mention the film Scratch from 2001, which you should definitely check out. It actually has a little bit within the film on crate digging featuring DJ Shadow. He's in the film, of course, in that segment. Like he's apparently crate digging master, but nonetheless, there's tons of big hip hop names and scratching, turntablism, Grand Wizard Theodore, Africa Bambaataa is in there, and many, many more. So it's definitely worth checking out if you have not seen it. All right, so Digging in the Cart is actually based on a web series of the exact same name, a 6-part series, which is also published by Red Bull. And I mentioned that, and that is actually part of the 3 for 1, as like I'm not going to actually touch upon it now, but it could be a future show or touched upon in the future. And the other part of the 3 for 1, while I'm mentioning it, is Red Bull Music Academy Radio is actually a really neat radio show, and a really, like, if you're not paying access for satellite radio or Beats One or like Apple Music and whatnot, I'd highly recommend Red Bull Music Academy Radio. And even if you are paying for other services, it's got really, really great shows on it. So you should definitely check that out. All right, so as a music fanatic and also a casual gamer going back to the 8-bit era, like NES to be precise, Digging in the Carts is a show that I very much enjoy and appreciate. Okay, so the show Digging in the Carts, it actually focuses on Japanese video game music from the 8-bit, 16-bit, and arcade era. However, it does delve outside of those areas ever so slightly, but those are indeed the main focuses. Plus, each show features a specific game company that it focuses on. So your Capcom, your Konami, and so on. And there's also an influential artist in the show talking about video game music. And also you have a composer in each episode talking about their craft and whatnot. And so, as I mentioned, the influential artists, the one I'm most familiar with that I've heard so far is actually Thundercat, who's a really good bassist that collaborates with a lot of big artists like Kendrick Lamar, and he's also was in a little band called Suicidal Tendencies. The composers, I actually can't give you any names off the top of my head. That's actually on the focus on the web series they mentioned, how they're very much behind the scenes, like hardly anyone well, a small percentage would actually know them by name, whereas like thousands and thousands, if not millions of people have heard the music. So it's actually good in that regards to get to know the people behind the music and hear how they made the music. Like going back to the 8-bit and 16-bit era, it actually was pretty challenging to make music on 8-bit cartridges. Like compared to today when you just like compose it on a MIDI keyboard on a computer or whatnot. Definitely way more challenging back then. And then, if I'm not mistaken, it was Konami that actually put an audio chip in their game cartridge itself, which expanded the realm of possibilities, at least as far as the 8-bit goes. I thoroughly recommend you check this series out. It's very entertaining listen. and educational in the realm of video games. And I've thoroughly enjoyed listening and watching the web series, and I actually have a little bit left to check out, but I'm definitely going to be listening to it some more. So before I do move into that bonus footage, which actually was going to be a link to episode 1, but since that link kind of fell apart as I didn't actually shoot that footage when I planned to, the link will be the fact that I started last video unshaven, and I've got a bit of fuzz right now. So as far as a musical reference goes, I'm going to say recommend go listen to the band Fuzz. That's Ty Siegel's band. Of course, he drums and sings, and they've got some really cool stuff. And apparently, a friend of mine told me they're pretty killer live. So if you have the chance to check them out, check them out. And yeah, maybe next time they're around, I'll do so myself. Toodaloo! So instead of putting a little piece of text on the video, I thought I'd just mention that the bonus footage you're about to see is actually intended as a Bon Iver reference, but I kind of messed up the lyrics in my head, so just imagine that I'm up in the woods. I'm not lost in the woods. Scratch that, I think I've got myself lost in the woods. So I did get lost in the woods after all. But I'm on the right track, and where I want to go is actually that glowing cross in the left of the picture. Right over there. So hopefully I'll still have enough light to get this video done and not be a lost in the woods video.